Hello everyone, this is Bentley, and it's time for episode 19 of Tank of the Week. Nearly 5 full months of doing 2 videos a week. So, I guess what I want to say is, like, for those of you who might be new, this is the power of you guys on the community tab. Like, when I put up polls, it seriously does influence this channel long term. This entire series, Tank of the Week, was spawned off of a comment and then a poll, and we've been going for 5 months now, and we really haven't repeated anything now, have we? Just once, but there was a pretty major change, so it was kind of okay to repeat that. But as you can tell, we're back in the raising room. We're here at the raising rack where we've been doing all the baby rainbows, and we've covered the 2 of the tanks behind me. Not this guy yet, but we'll get back to that later. What we're going to do is this tank that's actually down here. And that is the Melanotaenia Etnaensis. Now this is a really cool little rainbow fish, and you're going to see, we'll cut over to B-roll now so you can go ahead and see those guys. This was shot at night, so a little less glare to make it easier to see them. But these guys were teeny tiny when I got them from Gary Lange and AGA. So they've grown quite a bit. You can already see some of the ones, most likely males, that have really put on some serious body size. They're starting to get that height in the body. And you can see one guy in there that's already got a nice stripe and a little bit of color in the top of his body. It might be hard to see, but it's already starting to come in. So let's talk about these rainbows. What makes them interesting? Why did I, of all the rainbows I could possibly get from Gary Lange, why was this one of only 2 species I picked when Gary was up here for AGA? And I'd been talking to him for a bit ahead of time, so I kind of had some options. But I only picked 2, and we're going to start with this one. Well, first off, frankly, this fish is not really widespread in the hobby. This fish was originally collected by Heiko Bleher, which, super famous guy. And I think if I recall right, Gary was telling me it was either 2005 or 2008 when they went and collected this fish. I'll have to dig through miles of emails, and I'll put an annotation in the video here that'll show you what year it was collected. But this isn't really a widespread fish, because when it was collected, it then went to some smaller groups of people and some research scientists to breed them out, to get them available for some of the really trusted sources in the US and Europe, to start breeding and then spreading them slowly but surely. Now, why did I pick this fish? Mostly because it's so uncommon. It's not very well spread. It's different. It's interesting. And you can see these little guys swimming around, and you might think to yourself, well, what do they look like when they're adults? Now, this picture here comes from the one of the rainbow fish websites down in Australia that's kind of a great just overall resource for rainbow fish, and there's a link that's going to be down in the description. If you're curious, you can look up all sorts of rainbows. But here's an adult male, and look at that really cool color. There's like yellows and reds all over the place, that big, bold black stripe. Really a pretty fish, but you'll notice there's some subtle dark coloration in the lower part of the body, right above the anal fin. And then in the top, you get that kind of paler yellow with those big red, well, not really big, I mean, they're small, but in this picture they look big, red pinstripes between the layers of scales. This is kind of like a Melanotaenia bowmani in a way, but a little bit more color, a lot more color in the fins, and a little bit more of that black kind of pattern in the scales down low, which to me is just a real, when you get like yellow and red on a single fish, and you get those cool iridescence, and that's the thing that we can't really see in a picture, is the way that the scales get that iridescence in rainbows that we know so well. We can't see that in a picture, but trust me, these fish are lights out when they're adults, and I can't wait till these guys grow up. One of the things that Gary had mentioned to me is that the guys who had been breeding them had been struggling getting a good number of females. They've been seeing really high rates of male fish and not very many females. So if you look and you got a really good eye for rainbows, you'll notice I got a decent number of females in my group. And one thing that Gary told me when he handed me the bag of these fish, at first knowing I was going to go immediately from the hotel, where AGA was going and take them straight to my house. He said, keep track of all the females and do everything you can to keep every single one, because right now, that's the problem we're having. And if you can keep a good number of females and start breeding this fish, I'm going to be sending people your way, or I might contact you to get some females from you. So, when the man, the myth, the legend tells you to do something, you do it. So far, I'm having really good luck. I look like I got a good number of females in my batch. I've got quite a few fish. This is going to be one of those fish that's going to get its own dedicated tank. Now, thankfully, it's a species that doesn't get super big. They're not going to get huge. So they can go in something like a 40 breeder pretty well for a long period of time. And then maybe, if I really want to give them some big space, like a 75 or a 120, something like that. But they'll be good in a 40 breeder for quite a while. And as I'm doing some shifts around the house, I'll probably have space for a tank like that, maybe next summer when they start getting the size where they need to move out of this raising tank. So there you go. You've seen the fish. You've seen what it can look like as an adult. You've heard my story as to why I'm interested. What I want to know from you guys is, all right, you've seen this fish. Is this a fish you would want? And why? I'd love to hear that down in the comments below. I love getting that interaction with you guys, understanding what you like about the things that I show in my Tank of the Week, whether or not you're interested in some of the same stuff. I know, hopefully, if you're watching this a lot, you're kind of a fan of rainbow fish, because obviously I never shut up about them. But I really want to know what you guys are interested in, or maybe, if there was, what's a lesser known fish that you really like, that if you could get your hands on, you'd want to be that person where you were breeding that fish out. I'd love to know that down in the comments. Let me know down below. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say. If you enjoy this video, if you enjoy this little short look into this really wonderful little rainbow fish, throw a little like, hit that thumbs up, gently caress it. Just put that berry white on. Ooh, hey man, just give it a little bit of love, just soft little love. If you think I'm a complete weirdo and don't understand why I like this teeny tiny silver fish that's going to turn into this bright yellow and red fish, you can hit the thumbs down button. I'll understand. It's okay. It's okay. If you're new, and maybe this is your first time catching a Tank of the Week and you can't believe that there are 18 other episodes you now have to go watch, consider throwing a little bit of subscribe, little tappy tap of that bell. Make sure that you get all the notifications. Check out the community tab. That's your opportunity to directly influence this channel, what I do, just like this entire series. 19 episodes strong, all from one comment on a community post that turned into a vote, and the community spoke. And this is what you got, a weekly look into a different tank every week around my house. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and stay awesome.